I'm Rebekka Garreis. I work for the Swiss Quantum Initiative, and today I'm here to tell you about our strategic direction of our quantum strategy in Switzerland, and also what the Swiss kick is to our approach. So, because Switzerland has been invested in quantum since basically the beginning, which is known to many of you as the first quantum revolution, I want to start off with telling you what we understand under the second quantum revolution, where I think we can all agree that this is the era we're in the moment. And in Switzerland, we think that the second quantum revolution means that we are able to master quantum systems on the individual quanta level and engineered entanglement. This means we have the control. We don't only understand it, we control it. So our ecosystem is rather large. Unfortunately, you don't really see the Swiss map in the background, maybe on the screen. So this is Switzerland, and where all our different companies, quantum centers, ecosystem builders, venture capitalists, and other organizations sit. And what you can see is this is a rather rich picture. And the nice thing in Switzerland is it's all close by. It's like you can go from Basel to Zurich in 1 hour, and you do it on a daily basis. You don't care. You take a train, you're there. So so what you can see is we have 4 major quantum centers, one sitting in Lausanne, one sitting in Geneva, one sitting in Basel, and one sitting in Zurich. They come all out of universities. They are based on the universities. And then we have many more other players, some of them public, some of them private. Now, the thing with such a map is that as soon as you bring it out, it's actually outdated because you have a growing ecosystem. So stay tuned. We will have an updated map coming out within the next month. So what is the Quantum Initiative? I want to give you a little bit of a background where we sit in Switzerland. We're mandated by the government. We sit in the Academy of Natural Sciences, and we partner together with the SNSF, which is the Basic Research Foundation, and InnoSwiss, which is fostering the growing up of startups out of the university lab. So, contrary to many other national initiatives, we first of all do not sit directly with the government, and second of all, our brain power actually comes from these people, the Swiss Quantum Commission, and they are all still acting scientists, researchers, or other players within the quantum ecosystem. They are our experts. They make the recommendations towards the government. So the mandate we got from the government is to strengthen Switzerland's leading position across the entire value chain. What does that mean? Well, if you now look at, again, the Swiss ecosystem, what we have is 3 different players and contributors. You have the public, which comes from, we have a democracy, we have some policy there. We have economics, private players, private industries, and we have the science in universities and public research. So now they all kind of interact with each other and have an influence on top of each other. And the Swiss Quantum Initiative sits right in the middle. So we are kind of the connecting player between these 3 corners in this triangle. So we do that with the Swiss approach, and what we understand under the Swiss approach is that we have a cooperative governance. We have a joint principle-based work, which means we do it bottom-up. We let innovators and researchers come up with their ideas at public universities, and then we kind of help them to make that better and to make that bigger. Then we foster an open and liberal market approach. We don't have top-down industry policy, but we try to build up an attractive environment that then also allows markets to kind of grow up. We have curiosity-driven innovation, which comes from our very strong basic research. And on top of that, we now give with the Swiss Quantum Initiative some top-down national funding, which is solely meant for quantum technologies. In combination with that, you might all know that the World Economic Forum sits in Geneva, but that's not the only international organization that sits in Switzerland, because Switzerland is actually, it stands for multilateral dialogue and international collaboration and diplomacy. And this is also what we want to keep doing with quantum. We like to have international collaborations, and we're actively pursuing international collaborations. And we have the Open Quantum Institute sitting also in Geneva, which is looking at more at also the social impacts of quantum onto society. Now going back to this value chain of going from basic research all the way to industrial scaling, what we have is we have a lot of free scientific research, and we also put a lot of money into free scientific research. We have the open and liberal market environment, which we also strengthen with competitive calls. And all along, we have the responsible innovation. Now you might wonder, what is this gap you have in between there? Well, this is our huge gap we leave for entrepreneurship and innovation. When it comes to how do we distribute our funding, we can kind of distribute it into outcome-focused and project-based funding, and into fundamental research and foundations, which then goes into infrastructures also, or accessibility of infrastructures. And we believe that we need more of especially that lower corner, where it goes about of TRL enhancing measurements of kind of getting startups to use the existing infrastructure, which we kind of have a lot of in Switzerland, and to have strategically focused calls. So this is kind of what we plan to do, push more ahead while still keeping the solid basis of funding in basic research. So with that, I come to our SQC's recommendations that at the moment, which include that we should keep having that curiosity-driven research and innovation. We aim for one bigger scientific research specifically for quantum in the upcoming years. And we want to give more and more attention to this mid-TRL enhancing projects, where at the moment we also have one of these running competitive calls. And then we also want to support innovation and young companies without interfering into the market dynamics. And now, because everybody does advertisement for their country, I will also invite you all to come to our Swiss Quantum Week, which will happen in mid of October this year. And in part of the Swiss Quantum Week is also the Quantum Industry Day. These ones happen every year, so if you can't make it this year, make sure you make it next year. And why should you make it? Well, because the picture says more than 1,000 words. Why wouldn't you want to come on a business trip with a prolonged weekend afterwards to Switzerland? And with that, I'm coming to the end of my presentation. As I said before, we're happy to collaborate, we're happy to find new partners, and we're happy to strengthen already existing partnerships. So if you have any further questions or comments, feel free to reach out or find me. I'm the tall girl in the pink jacket at the moment, as somebody already described me. Yes, thank you for your attention.